How's it going, guys? This is Philip coming here from the beautiful island of Jeju. We have Patrick BetDavids, the entrepreneur, the podcaster for Valuetainment, the father, the husband, the really great guy who gives us some great advice, invaluable resources in his podcast, and great advice here about parenting. Now listen up.
You know, it's like, I don't buy gifts for my kids. If you ask my wife how many gifts I bought for my kids, I'm not a guy that buys gifts for my kids. I'll say things like, hey, Daddy, can we get that Lego? That Lego is $10. Hey, Daddy, can we get that video game? That video game is $20. Hey, Daddy, can we go buy the new FIFA? You finish Atlas Shrugged, you'll get it. Hey, Daddy, I want to get right now, my youngest son picked up Fountainhead by himself. He's on page 250 or something. He knows if they finish Fountainhead and a few other things, this guy's been working on this for 2 years. They're about to get their treehouse. But the treehouse they've been asking for 4 years. It's been 4 years till they get their treehouse. What is a treehouse if I buy it? 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand? It's not a lot of money. I don't have a problem with that part, but I want them to earn it. Everything for me is with them busting their asses. My son's schedule every day after he gets off school, 3 to 4 he swims. 4 to 5 is soccer, 5 to 6 is jiu-jitsu, 6 to 7 is baseball. By the time he comes home, he asked me a question the other night. He says, Daddy, do I have a busy schedule or is this a normal schedule for all kids? I said, that's very normal. He says, because when I talk to my friends, they don't have my schedule. I said, they don't want to tell you the truth. Everybody has this kind of a schedule. I said, but listen, here's what I will tell you. He said, what's that? You're a BetDavid. I don't care what the Jones' schedule is. I don't care what the Jackson schedule is. This is the BetDavid schedule. Okay? And this is the schedule you're going to go on. But Daddy loves you. I'm here for you. We're going to celebrate victories. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I think it has to be something you think about. But even with parenting, I mean, you can do everything right, and the kid can still screw up. You can do everything right. They still have the choice to make. They can still hook up with whoever they want to. They can still choose to have sex without a condom with a girl they met at a club and get that girl. All of these things are still possible. They can still be tempted on one day. They're pissed off at their daddy, and they walk away and say, you're just too much. My girlfriend is right. You are a capitalist. All you care about is money. That's your God. You don't love us. You could buy me this car. You could buy me the house like the other person is doing. But you are so cheap because all you care about is your money. I know that moment is coming. I know it is coming. But I'm good with it. And I'm going to stand my ground because I'm banking by 25, 30 if they get through that ugly phase of hating dad, the 3 phases you got to go through with your father. You idolize, you demonize, you humanize. I'm in the idolize phase right now. The demonize phase comes next. That's not going to be pretty for me. But I have to be strong enough of a leader to be able to handle the next phase. So it's a tough job, but you never know what's going to happen. As long as you prepare early, you got a fighting chance.
Do you let them watch TV, go on the internet, social media? How do you control that, or do you?
No, everything is structured. My kids still don't have a phone. All their friends have phones. They don't have phones.
What are the ages of your kids? Just for the
11, 9, 7, 2. Okay. In our house, when you turn 6 years old, you have to read 20 pages every day. Okay. In the books, there's steps on what you go through next. And then when you have to read a serious books like, you know, whatever that was, something of fire or, you know, not a Hunger Games. There's a couple of these books like Harry Potter or, you know, some of these serious things that you need to go through for your imagination to kind of see the different stuff that's out there. And then you're going to read some real books when you're 9 years old, 1,000-page type of books to kind of go through it. But video games, there's no iPad throughout the week. 0 iPad throughout the week. Saturday, Sundays, if you have a C in your class, there is no iPad at all, ever. 0. If you have 1 C, you get no iPad. Not on Saturdays, not on Sundays, nothing. So my son, one of them has a C. Guess what? There is no iPad for him. However, Saturday, Sunday, you wake up. This morning, my daughter woke up at 7 o'clock. She read her book. Came, Daddy, I read the book. What'd you learn about it? Here's what I learned about the founding fathers. I learned that this, I learned that this, and I learned that this president is this. 7-year-old daughter. I said, great, babe, you can go play iPad for an hour, okay? Because she's made up all her assignments for the week. When it comes down to TV, if you haven't read, you can't watch TV. Same thing. On the weekends, I pick movies. We take turns on movies and all that stuff on what they can do, and that's kind of what we do with it. Now, let me go to the C side. I need leverage to get my kids to get smarter and read the content and study the material that I want them to read. I'm watching my son. He hasn't played iPad for 3 months. And I'm like, you're wasting an opportunity because he doesn't have a desire to learn. He's just waiting for the C to become a B so he can play iPad. I said, we got to figure something out. I said, here's what we're going to do. For every documentary you watch that I choose, an hour documentary, you'll get 30 minutes on the weekends. And this is during summer season. So guess what? You watch 40 documentaries, you got some hours, but if you watch 3 documentaries this week, you got an hour and a half over the weekend. So my sons have watched the entire Man in the Arena, Captain, The Last Dance, Pele, all these documentaries, the plane that went missing, JFK assassination, all of this stuff where their brain to be vibrating at what happened here, what do you think happened here, what do you think happened there? But that's the system we've created. You have to exercise, you have to take care of your body, but that's the system.
How do you balance between being a free thinker and entrepreneur who forges their own path or having a very structured outline? Because for me growing up, my parents were very much, you could do what you want to do and we're not going to get in the way of that. If you decide that you just want to do nothing all weekend, you could do that. If you decide you want to be productive, you could do that. And I feel like that sort of freedom allowed me as an adult to do what I thought was best in the moment, even if it's not structured or what everyone else is doing. How do you balance the two?
Yeah, that's good for you. Kudos to you for doing that. That doesn't work out most of the time with a lot of people. As an outlier, as a exception to the rule, it's great. Now think about this. Give me one system that produced a lot of great leaders without any structure. Give me any system. Hear me out what I say. Like if you're going to a place where they produce leaders, right? By the way, this thing is structured here, just so you know. Everything is, Elon's got the whole system on what he's doing. He runs the show. Yeah. Okay, last night for things, nothing happened. I didn't even think about AV last night. And typically when I'm doing stuff, I'm thinking about, why didn't I think about AV? Because things were squared away with him. He's running the show. He's telling people what to do. There's systems here. When we came in, the walkthrough, the preparation, the questions, there's systems. If you played under John Wooden, guess what? There's systems. Bill Walton comes in as a hippie with a beard, and he says, hey, I'm not shaving my beard for nobody. John Wooden says, you don't have to, but I don't have to play you. Really, you wouldn't play me? I'm the #1 prospect in the world. You ain't going to play. You can keep your beard, hippie. Goes back to practice with everybody else. Bill Walton gets on the bike, goes, cuts his hair, his beard, comes back to practice. He starts playing. What did John Wooden do to Bill? He gave him high expectation, high standards. Bill Belichick, high expectation, high standards. Military, high expectation, high standards. Jack Welch, high expectation, high standards, fire the bottom 30% of your employees every year. Elon Musk, you don't want to be at Twitter? 50% fired, 3750 go home. You still don't want to be at Twitter? The other 1250 quit as well. Now we got about 2,200 employees at Twitter. Almost anywhere you go where you see a person coming out with the level of discipline that others don't have, there was a person there with high standard, high expectation. Kobe Bryant. When did LeBron become the beast that he is? Most people are like, well, LeBron is better, Michael is better. LeBron went to the Olympics, and they recruited Kobe to go to the Olympics. Go study LeBron after he went to the Olympics with Kobe, because he noticed Kobe was maniacal about his training. Nobody ever had the standards of Kobe, including Michael. Michael had better God-given ability, but Michael wanted to party and do all the other stuff. Kobe was maniacal. Everybody who ever played with Kobe realized this guy's a monster. Allen Iverson, one of my favorite players to watch. He tells a story one time. He says, hey, one time I'm playing against the Lakers. I say, hey, Kobe, what are you doing later? Let's go to dinner. We go to dinner. And then Kobe's like, what are you doing now? So I'm going to go to the club. You want to roll? He says, no, I'll take you. He goes, drops him off at the club. Kobe does. He says, where are you going? He says, I got to go back to the gym to practice. Kobe's got 5 championships. AI's got 0. Okay? So, yes, a person like you can go out there and do what they're doing, but structure increases the chances. But I'm going to say this final thing, and I'll turn it back over to you, is the following. Don't assume our house, everything is structured. Everything is not structured. Don't think it's a setup where, hey, you better do this, you better do that, you better do this, you better do that. They're free to do a lot of things. It's a system that you have on how you score points. YouTube doesn't tell you what to do. YouTube will tell you if you create good content, good SEO, good lighting, good camera, good this, good audio, and you keep doing it consistently, we're going to reward you. Our family's the same way. We're the ultimate capitalism family. You do this, you earn this. You do this, you earn that. You don't, you don't. That's capitalism. You don't have to do it. You don't have to watch the documentary. You don't have to read the book, but you also don't have to play iPad. So there is that element of capitalism in the house where you got to earn or else you don't get.
I'm curious, what books do you recommend that every parent have their child read?
Some of the books I have, my kids have read, my oldest has probably read 500 Who HQ books. I was interested in buying Who HQ, the brand, which is owned by Penguin. They won't sell it, but I I watch some of the stuff they add in Who HQ, which is politically motivated. And there's other competitors to Who HQ. I was going to buy another book brand that was out there. I will tell you, I like my kids to study individuals. So studying individuals, they got to study the founding fathers. They got to study why America is the greatest country in the world. They got to study the Musks of the world, the Teslas of the world, the Franklins of the world, the Lincolns of the world. I want them to study great leaders on what happened there, okay, with them. Great presidents. I want them to study John F. Kennedy, Reagan. Go study those guys. I'll tell you what happened the other day. There's a frame in my office. I don't know if you guys went into my office. There's a book that's on the wall. And they sent me the book, and it's about a guy named Thomas Sowell. I don't know if you know who Thomas Sowell is. Thomas Sowell is probably one of the smartest men we have in America today. He's 91 years old. 91, 92, 93 years old. Came up with Milton Friedman. I don't know if you guys know who Milton Friedman is. Milton Friedman is maybe the greatest economist we've ever had outside of Adam Smith and all these other guys. Milton Friedman was, if you want to really get into the space, go watch Milton Friedman with Phil Donahue. It's 43 minutes. And just watch that for yourself and you'll be fast. I think he's wearing a yellow coat or a yellow shirt. Incredible. If you go there and then you watch Thomas Sowell debate, just type in Thomas Sowell debate. It's an older Thomas Sowell with glasses. He's debating a lady. You'll go into the rabbit hole and watching this stuff forever. My kid, book comes in, he reads the Thomas Sowell book. Okay. I come home, he says, Daddy, what are we doing? I said, what do you mean, what are we doing? I have to go make money. So you have to go make money? Yeah, I got to go make money. I don't know how I'm going to go make money. I'm going to go and knock on the doors here in the people in the neighborhood, and I'm going to see how I can make money with them. I said, what are you talking about? He says, no, I got to go as a capitalist. I got to go make money. But I can't take credit for him. I've never told him to go out there and find a way to make your own money. He read this book. So he goes out, comes back, nothing happens, sweating. It's 100 degrees outside. Next day, his brother joins him, and his sister joins him. So it's him, 11, 9, 7, they're out. And an hour later, somebody calls us. Hey, are these your kids? Yes. They're out here knocking on doors saying they want to find a way to make money. Do you mind if I teach them how to walk my dogs? Because I need somebody to walk my dogs. I said, no problem. It's a 65-year-old lady. So they walk the dogs. They come back, sweat, totally sweaty, messed up. And they come back and they say, yeah, Daddy, this lady gave us $20. I said, she gave you $20? Yeah. I told him, whatever you make, I'm going to match it. So if you make 20, you get 40. I said, so what do we want to do with this $20? I said, who's the CEO of the company? He said, well, Dad, that's me, my oldest. I said, so what amount of this 40 you want to pay yourself? He says, I'm going to pay myself, 20 or whatever, okay? I said, what amount do you want to pay the second best employee? He says, no, Dylan worked really hard. I'm going to pay him 15 or whatever the number. And Senna came and she was supporting cast and she was sweet, so we're going to give her $5. So she's all happy. And we're doing a video, by the way. It's a great video. I take the $20, the first one, and I frame it in my office. I take a picture of them walking the dogs. It's in my office. And I put the book, the first book that they read that caused them, influenced them to become capitalists. So for me, it's less about what brand book they read. It's who they read. If your kid reads Thomas Sowell, oh my God. If your kid reads innovators, creators, founding fathers of America, what these guys went through to create the greatest country in the world, that's going to inspire them in weird ways. These guys have read more books than I read. The amount of books my oldest son has read, I did not read until I was 28 years old. This guy's read at 11 years old. Imagine the imagination with this kid on how he's wired. So I think it's more names and individuals than it is like certain brands.